Welcome. It's time to start week 12 in Illustrator. This is Learning Plan 9. We only have week 12 and 13 ahead of us before Thanksgiving break. After break, we have 2 weeks, week 14 and 15, and then our semester is done. So we're really getting to the ending point at this time. Today we're going to cover 2 chapters, 13 and 14, and I'm going to give you your next major project. It's not going to be due until the next time we have class after Thanksgiving break or fall break, which is technically December 1st. So that seems like a long ways away, but I didn't want to give you too rushed of a deadline on this one. It's a really good project that I'll tell you about at the end of the lessons. From there, the next week, we will be covering chapter 15, which is the last chapter we have to cover in the book. And pretty much it's just work time from then on out of the 3 final projects. This one and 2 more that I'll introduce after that. So online students, what I'd like you to do is click this link and watch this short video to see what's new in Illustrator 2021. This is it. It's by Dansky. I'll just play the intro so you know.
For Adobe Illustrator 2021, all in about 5 minutes. So let's get started.
All right, that's the video I'm going to have you watch. Some really cool things. Recoloring artwork is in here, using cloud documents, snapping objects to glyphs or to parts of type like baseline, X height, etc. is a new thing. Aligning text frames, font height options, and lock and unlock is a little bit easier now than going to the layers panel. So take 5 minutes and watch that video. And then when you're done, come on back and we'll start with videos on chapter 13. So chapter 13 is called Exploring Creative Uses of Effects and Graphic Styles. So far, we've been changing appearance of different things like strokes and fills by using either the Properties panel or maybe the Swatch panel or whatever. There's another place that you can go to do this, and it's called the Appearance panel. So that's what we're going to learn about today. So I'm going to have you open the L13 start file. Looks like this. And by the way, I have updated to Adobe Illustrator 2021. You can see right up here. So I hope you have done the same. If not, I don't know that anything's going to not work or be different. I guess we'll find out as I work through this, but I am using the current version. All right, right away we have to activate 2 Adobe fonts. They're checked, so we just click on the activate and wait a moment. And then when it's all done, and we know we have missing type because it's highlighted in pink, that's kind of a dead giveaway that we need to do some font linking, or activating rather. And as soon as that's done, we will save this file and move on. All right, fonts successfully activated. I'm going to close that window. I'm also going to close this swatch panel and brushes from our last exercise. All right, from here we're going to do a file save as, and we are going to name this your name, artshow.illustrator, AI. All right. Brenda Art Show Illustrator, and I'm saving it locally. You can save it to your cloud or locally, whichever you would like. All right. Let's first start by taking our selection tool and clicking to select this gray shape that's in the background of our image here. And in our appearance panel over on the right, we see our fill, stroke, opacity, and then any effects that are turned on, which right now is the drop shadow. So this is what we're used to seeing and how we've been working so far. There are 3 dots down here, however, and if we click on that, we get our actual appearance panel. And I'm going to drag it open, and you can see that we can add to this. If there are special effects being shown, the FX is here, and double-clicking to edit it. We also have the eyeballs, which allow us to turn on and or off that effect. And everything we do also has a stacking order here. Excuse me. All right. The appearance panel that we're seeing, and if you didn't get it here, or if you can't seem to find it, it's just under Window and then Appearance. So it's right here and it's checked on. The appearance attributes can be changed, edited, removed, turned on, off, and restacked at any time. So with this selected, instead of going over to our Properties panel, we're going to work right here inside the Appearance panel. And we're going to click on the gray fill box a couple of times until our swatch panel shows up. And from here, we're going to hover over and we're going to find a swatch that's called Background. There it is. It's the pink color at the end. So we're going to change it to that. Then we're going to click on the words 1 point, and that activated that, where we now have up-down arrows, or we can type something in. And we're just going to take this down to 0, which removes the stroke from it completely. Again, all these things we've been doing over here in the Appearance panel. We're going to click on the visibility column I to the left of the word drop shadow, and that's going to take it off, or take off that effect. But if we don't want it at all, we can just as well delete it. So as long as this whole line is highlighted, and if it isn't, click over here to the right of the words to get it. And with it highlighted, click on the delete selected item or drag it down to the garbage. So if you're not going to use them ever again, it's just as good to delete them. All right, the cool thing that we can do with artwork and text in Illustrator is that it can have more than one stroke and more than one fill. Well, how does that work? I think with a stroke, you can picture it. Perhaps there's a 20-point black stroke, and on top of that is a 10-point white stroke, so it looks kind of beveled. Fills, if we're going to have two different colors or a color and a pattern, if the opacity is at 100%, we can't see the two working together, but if we change opacities or other things, we can actually stack our fills as well. So with our background shape still selected, we're going to come over to this Appearance panel, and at the bottom you can see you have Add New Stroke, Add New Fill, or Add New Effect. We want to add a new fill. So we're going to click on this. It automatically goes to the top of the stack and it fills it with the current color. So it makes basically a duplicate of it. We're going to click on the bottom or original fill. We're going to click on this swatch so that it opens our swatch panel. And we're going to use a pattern called crosses. So select that one. And we can click away and nothing is showing. That's only because this full pink fill layer is above it and the blending mode or opacity is not changed. If you want to see it, let's just click on the eye icon, of this top pink layer, and indeed we can see the texture or the pattern that our lower fill layer had. All right, turn back on the fill layer up here, turn the eyeball back on, click away to deselect, and we'll move on to adding multiple strokes and fills to text.